Hello, my dear Capricorn. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between September 1st and September 15, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I will start shuffling your card, and I use the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. So I call the Divine with love and light, and I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Capricorn viewers. So I want my dear Capricorn to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. We have she's very clear-minded. She's able to make a judgment, and this is falling out together with a big family of fire signs. We're actually talking about Capricorn here, but this is Libra, both those. Libra is about balance. We have Jupiter in Libra right now, making this with imbalances much more obvious to people. We also have the 6 of coins here, also talking about this balance, the scales with balance. So for you, Capricorn, the whole suit of royal fire signs, except for the page. And this might talk about you meeting your soulmate with the Judgment. And with the Queen of Swords, it might be that this is not going to be nice, okay? That you might meet people in your life that's going to be in opposition to you, and you need to be, like with the Queen of Swords, very awake and being able to communicate in a very clear and logic way. People might come and be difficult with you to make you see something or challenge you into awakening parts of yourself that you don't normally use because you think that there's something wrong with your the thing that you are doing, the way that you're doing things, or you're holding back in some way anyway. And this is going to be very positive in the long run, but it might be very difficult in a short-term situation. So, 4 of Swords. Okay, it's kind of going to be like a trial by fire, and even if it's a lot of maybe happy encounters as well, with some of those, you might love them, even though they might be a little bit difficult. It's like blood, sweat, and tears, victory at last with the Ace of Swords. So the 4 of Swords is saying that take care of your body during this process. Honor yourself. Don't let yourself become exhausted because there might be big challenges waiting for you, and you need to learn to say no and respect yourself very much. So during this time, it's very crucial that you listen to your own body. We have the Justice coming again, so now you have had like 4 or 5 cards indicating Libra and Justice. So Justice will come, and it will come always end up good, okay? Even if you have done something bad, it's going to end up good, because if you have done something that are going to pay back in a bad way, it's anyway going to teach you something that's going to better you and make you more positive. And it's the same if you are being wronged in some way. You are going to be able to stand up for yourself and give yourself justice at this time. Okay. I also want to take the chance to tell you that the Sun is in Virgo and will move over to Libra at the 22nd of September. So we will have this Earth-air thing going on. Mercury is moving retrograde on the cusp Virgo, Leo, ending up in Virgo throughout the month. Also Mars and Venus will transit from Leo to Virgo. Full moon will be in Pisces September 6. New moon on the cusp again between Virgo, Libra, September 20. We will also have the September equinox on the 22nd, when Sun moves into Virgo. Equally long day and night throughout the world. Jupiter moves direct in Libra, Saturn moving direct in Sag, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Uranus retrograde in Aries, and Pluto retrograde in your sign Capricorn. For you, Capricorn, we have Moon move through 1st to the 2nd of September, triangling Sun and squaring Jupiter in Libra and Uranus moving retrograde in Aries. That will happen with the Moon those 2 days, 1st and 2nd of September. Pluto is moving retrograde in Capricorn, as I said, triangling Sun in Virgo. Okay, so I will just tune in for a few seconds here. Okay, my dear Capricorn, this is your future, probably the second half of September or so, going into later in the fall, up to 3 months. And here we have the now, that's probably the first part of September, and this is the past, that's probably August. It might be even a longer period of time back if there's a lot of major arcana cards due to them often covering a bigger cycle. You can also come back and watch this reading several times, because this is a rather it's a forecast, rather big time before the actual thing will go down. So this is a forecast, so you will be able to make better decisions when the actual thing is happening. So this is why Tart is here. You're supposed to be able to know things, so you are a little bit prepared and you know what to do to heal your karmic lessons and to make your experiences actually teaching you something. And so you can watch several times and you might understand more about what I'm saying here. Okay, so the first card for you, Capricorn, is 2 of coins, and that's Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn actually. So it's about things that needs to be like seen, and we know already that this is going to be about balance, and this one is balancing those 2 balls or pentacles. So it's like, should you hold this ball or drop the ball? It's like a choice that's being made here. And yes, it's about karma. It's some kind of karmic situation appearing and reappearing in your life. It wants to change you step by step. It wants to make you see things, new things, gives you key to new things, to new way of understanding yourself and your environment step by step. But it's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be maybe too much to handle sometimes. And if it is, then dropping the ball is probably what the divine wants you to do. Sometimes they want to challenge you into failing because you're going in some direction that you're not supposed to. Or it's just need to level up with the difficulty level, so you will rise to the occasion, and you will have to prove yourself, not in a way prove I'm good. You will have to prove what you are made of, and that's not to judge you. That's for you to get to know yourself, to know who you are and what you want and what you like and what you don't like and what's making you happy and what's not making you happy. Life is not about just juggling things like this and stressing through and trying to not make mistakes. It's about trying to be happy, and this person is like acting happy, happy clothes, happy like rainbows here, but it doesn't look happy. So maybe you think you're doing things that's making you happy, but you're actually not. So it might be time to reconsider things. And here we have the World. So it seems like you're very close up to finish off this karma that we were seeing there with the wheel of the bicycle without. It doesn't have a steering wheel here, so it's it's a lot of things that's out of your control and up to the divine. It's just that you are being put through a test. It's like this. It's like being thrown around in a washing machine, because you're supposed to learn something, and then when you have, you will come out the other side and kind of be able to level up. You don't have to do the same things here. So it seems like maybe you are doing something that you have already got this, but you are doing it anyway because it feels so good, or you are so used to doing this that you can't really help yourself. But really, with the World card, it's saying it's all already done. You don't have to continue with this juggling thing. You already know what to do. It's you just need to see it or accept it. And here we have the strength. So it might be that you're holding back parts of your strength, or maybe you are dealing with a very strong and just person, like a person that's very grown up. Probably it's like you have grown up in this way. You know how to follow your own instincts, your own desire, and still be the bigger person. Because when you actually align with yourself, respect yourself, accept yourself, you don't go around having beef with other people, because you become so calm and full of love towards not only yourself but also towards others. So it's like, again, it's like you already made this. You already know what it's about. It's just that you're hiding your strength in some way, or you're just not used to this. So you haven't been starting to use it yet. So here we have a Knight of Swords, and we saw a lot of air cards coming when I shuffled the deck. It was Queen of Swords and Justice and Two of Swords and other things. So with the Knight of Swords, it's a little bit more young energy. And with this energy together with the strength, it might be someone being like a little bit reckless with their strength. Maybe they think they have something in order when they don't. So for some of you, you might think you are finished with a karmic lesson, but you aren't. There's still things that you need to learn. And even if you feel like you're very, like no one will ever rock your world again, you will be very cool and calm. With the Knight of Swords, it might be that there's still going to be challenges that's going to seem pecky and small in some way, like a person trying to maybe taint with your mojo in some way. I can't understand, I can't really translate that feeling into words. Maybe the next card will enlighten. Yes, Page of Swords. So it's someone, it might be two, you might be dealing with two air people and one fire person, maybe a Leo, or it's the same person acting with three different faces. It might even be you. Here is a very young energy. Both those are the youngest in the air suit. So they might not have been able to master their strength and their words just yet. So it's about being diplomatic, not just saying whatever flies into your head. You still want to say it, because if you don't say it, you will push it into the shadow and it will come up in some other way that's you are not able to have control over or to actually see. It's your shadow, so it's hard to see it. So what you need to do when that comes up, like you're very strong and you have those words that you want to say them, but use more diplomatic and grown-up ways to say this. It might be like, I'm really jealous at you, and you might say instead, I'm getting jealous in this situation because it feels unfair that this is in this way. And it's just how it feels. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just telling you how it feels. So that's making you and also your surrounding at ease. So you don't have to go to war here or start a warfare or a big rebellion. You can just start to communicate. It's like a person being... It's so double here, because it's like a person taking the first steps, and in the same time, it's like you need to finish something. You are already done. It's like the divine is a little bit impatient with you in some way. So I think that you have rather high amount of it's like you have a lot of press on you right now to learn something really quick, to learn something this with really communicating yourself and your strength, but in a diplomatic way, so people can understand and it's not becoming a war. So it's like you're in a hurry, and I don't know why, but you really need to become very sincere and honest, but in a way that's brave, and not just putting people on a spot, but actually taking care of both you and the other person. I feel this way. You're taking responsibility for how you feel, but you're still telling the other person how you feel. So it's about maturing and doing so fairly quickly. And sometimes it will be like the person that you're dealing with that has this pressure on them, because it might be talking about you, but all this reading might be explaining something to you about another significant person in your life. So you need to use your own intuition to understand which it is. And here we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is about, it's about finding yourself by separating yourself a little from other people and being very aware of what's going on inside of you. So instead of stressing here and like juggling the balls, drop those and go inside. If you have difficult situations, maybe very much stress at work, maybe 2 relationships to deal with, or a lot of family members, a lot of people wants your attention, try to take some time off and find out where you are in all this. What is it that you are doing because others want you to, and what is it that you are doing because you want to. So the things that you're doing just to please others, you can cross them off your list. You're not supposed to do these things anymore. You're supposed to do those things that's making you happy. We are not here to be slaves anymore. We are here to be our soul entities on earth. So this is kind of a calling. And it's this Virgo and Jupiter. So we have this with the Libra Virgo thing happening this month. It might be something going on there between this earth and air thing, to be able to communicate what you already know to be true, but to do so in a diplomatic way, so you won't cause third world war in your family or at your workplace or your relationships, romantic relationships. And the next card is the Fool. So you see again very quickly here, baby steps, endings, like fix this quickly and then a new beginning again. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with you, but it seems like you are either surrounding with very childish people, or like you need to really fast track your inner child. Maybe you have been able to get in contact with your inner child, and you need to take it up to speed. All the years that it has missed, maybe being pushed down in the basement or somewhere else where you put things that you think are uncomfortable with you. The inner child has all the keys to a happy future, but if you dropped your inner child when you were young, it will still be in this age. It hasn't developed. It's holding the keys to your longing, to your happiness, to your soul's goal, to your mission and everything. And if you have pressed it down and just try to behave, to be nice towards others, this entity will be very rough on the edges, not very diplomatic, and maybe be like a 3-year-old lying on the floor to the store and crying for something that it wants. So therefore, you need to fast track the maturity for this entity. Follow it, because it's going to lead you towards happiness, but also don't let it just speak out without thinking things through and finding ways to modeling your words. So you still say this because you need to say it, but more diplomatically. Because some new beginning, some new very individualistic new beginning is happening here. It's an individual that's really struggling with their growth, and it's very pressing. Like it's a pressing time. It's a lot of demands on you to do this in a short amount of time, and it's like it's almost like you are going on a boat on a river, so it's going very hasty as well, and you're being dragged along kind of. And here we have the 6 of coins. So we see the green hand. It's like your boss at work giving you money. But here it's like you being the boss, you being the bigger person, you being the stoic one, the one that gives, the one that doesn't have to win a fight, that can see things from a higher level and be able to say, okay, so what I see here is that you are very upset because of this thing, and I'm rather upset because of that thing, and really we don't talk about the same thing here. So if you can understand that I never meant to hurt you like this, maybe you can reassure me that this was what you really meant. And you can try to be more diplomatic. And it's still about, you can give this to a person. You give a person a chance to solve a situation in a more mature way. If they don't want to do this, well, half of this exercise is up to them. You can't control other people. You can just do your fair share, and then if they don't want to, well, then you can't do anything about it. It's not under your control. We can see here that you have tried to control some uncontrollable situation. You have tried maybe to control a person that's not really cooperating, someone that's childish, or someone that doesn't say what they really mean, or I see a lot of different scenarios. But here you have tried to keep both the balls, like both sides of this thing. You have tried to be the one that keeps the things together. But here with the Six of Coins is saying, yes, half, not more than half. Do your fair share and then drop the ball. Because the other person needs to take the ball and continue with the game. If they don't, there's no game. The game is off. Because the other side to this needs to learn to do their fair share. To help, to fix things, to help to connect, to communicate, to solve issues. It shouldn't be just on one person. So the next card is Eight of Swords, and it's a Gemini again. It's coming underneath the Knight of Swords. That's Gemini. We see the symbol for Gemini there. So with Eight of Swords, it might be you or another person that's thinking too much about what other people and their opinions about things, how to judge a situation. You're thinking too much instead of just feeling inside of you what's right. It's like you're pushing yourself to the limits because you think it's the right thing to do. You are trying to endure things because you think it's the right thing to do. But here it's Jupiter again, making this bigger, making you see how you are not trying to restrain your natural self, to not say the things that you want to say, to not see the things that you don't want to see, to not feel the things you don't want to feel. The strength is saying, say what's on your mind, follow your instinct, tell your truth, be brave and strong, be aligned with your soul. And this one is saying, don't do anything of that because it's dangerous. People will get mad at you. You will have consequences for this, being your true self. It's dangerous. It's something wrong with you. You have to act not natural. You have to act unnatural in a way that other people have taught you how to do. Keeping a lot of rules in mind. This I can't say, this I can't say, this will make people upset, this won't make people upset. So this is the human way of dealing with things, and this is the soul's way of dealing with things. This is the spiritual road, and this is a much more dry road that won't make anyone happy. You can't live your life through others. You need to be able to communicate your natural self in a natural way. If you're surrounding with people where you need to walk on eggshells to not make them upset, you are dealing with the wrong people. 8, 8. And here we have the Sun, and it comes underneath the Page of Swords. We have one truth teller here anyway that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for people, but really bringing up things to the surface, challenging us to tell the truth of how we feel and what we want and our goals for our lives. Because sometimes we also don't want to see the truth because we know deep inside that the people that we are dealing with may not stand for this at all. One side might want to be committed, and the other side is they have never even considered this. And here the truth needs to come out. So things needs to come out in the light. You need to tell things like they are, truly. You can't go around and just play the game of, yes, we are so on the same page here, while you're not. You're really not. So take out the conflict into the light and see what to do about it in a diplomatic way. Like, tell things like it is. This is Page of Swords. It's like Jesus when he drove out all the merchandisers from his father's temple. So all the things that's not true, that you're trying to do for a purpose, for a profit, for a certain outcome, you're not acting natural because you are trying to manipulate a situation to be in your favor. But really it's not becoming in your favor because you are not making yourself happy. You're just trying to endure a situation that you don't really actually endure. There's a truth to this, something that needs to be seen in the light of the sun here and Jupiter. So 2 planets bringing a lot of clarity, or this is making the untruths bigger, and this is making you being able to see it. It's the soul again, the sun. It's connected with Leo, and we have been going through a period where we are forced to become more our true selves. We can't lie about who we are anymore. We need to stand up for our our strength in some way. Many people are kind of making themselves small to fit in, and you're not supposed to be small. You're not supposed to have to unfold your wings to get inside a house, as I think it's Khalil Gibran in The Prophet about houses. So you should be able to be in your full glory and still be loved. So this is the future, and here we have the Star card. So there's some healing to be done. There's some partnership. Even if you drop the ball here, the game is kind of still on, so you can't lose things. That's truly yours. If people are not behaving, if they are not doing their fair share, drop the ball, let them go. They will return like a rubber ball back to you. So when time is right to start building again on what has been torn down, maybe with truth, maybe with some something that happened. This is the ruins of the tower. So there's need to be a new foundation built on truth, and this is what the divine is trying to help you with forcing you into difficult situation and challenges, forcing you to tell the truth about how you really feel and how you really think and what you really want. So this is why they are pushing you. This is why they are making you your diplomatic days, like being silent with things and rubbing things underneath the carpet, impossible from now on. The truth needs to be told. And here we have the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is a person leaving valuable situations behind to find themselves. So it's much like what we have seen here with the Hermit. And here we have 21 World and the Fool. So it seems like you're really going into this process of the new. You're ending old things, dropping the ball on some old thing that you are kind of done with already. You have already learned this lesson, but you are keeping on to it because you think that it's the right thing to do. But now you are called to do a total new beginning that's right up your own alley. Find out what is pulling you, what wants to talk with you, what wants to communicate with you, what is the future that is yet to be created. That's unique for you. So you can't be kidnapped by situations and people that's actually outdated a little bit. You have the 8 Strength, 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups. So it's talking about the Lion Gate. You can check the Lion Gate on YouTube to get a little bit of grasp what I'm talking about. But the Lion Gates is it's 888. We are going through this. We have the North Node in Leo. We had 2 new moons in Leo in August. We also had the solar eclipse in Leo. We currently have Mars, Venus, and Mercury, all the fast-moving planets in Leo. So a lot of things is happening there. 8, your own strength. See where it takes you. Don't let yourself be bound to behaving in a way that's conditioned. Free yourself from those opinions and other people, and also kind of their value to you. You need to risk them to be able to have a real sincere relationship. You can't be in a relationship that's built on lies or built on you behaving so other people can disbehave. So you're searching something together with the divine here. And it's a totally new beginning, and it's something with your soul, like going deep within, getting to know you. That's the most important thing here. And here we have death as well. So death comes underneath Strength and 6 of Coins. So when diplomatic communication doesn't work, again, drop the ball. Don't enable people to go on to do the things they have done forever. let them see the light by you just doing your fair share and not more than that. So don't use your strength to enable other people to go on with their same old patterns. This is a big break of old patterns. Just drop the ball. Do the things that you are so scared to do. Sacrifice these old relationships. And as I said, if it's truly yours, it will come back. Whatever you sacrifice on one side of death, it will come back to you tenfold on the other side. You need to free old energy to get new energy. You have both the world, the fool, and death here. So it's big passing, big things happening in Capricorn. You have Pluto in moving retrograde into your sign, killing off everything of your old stability that's not supposed to be there anymore for this new beginning, for this new thing that wants to be born and come into your life. So you need to be your totally truthful, honest self to be able to take this gift of this new beginning. You can't behave in ways that's not for you and your soul. And here we have the Ace of Swords, blood, sweat, and tears, and victory at last. So it's like you have got the permission to talk. Tell the truth even if your voice shakes, and even if your teeth clatter and your knees tick, 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 tick as well. Just speak the truth. And it will be a fight. It will be hard. People will not be used to you behaving in this dreadful way. But there's no other way, because universe wants to create balance. And if you try to hold off, it's like this energy is so, it's like a force of nature. It will be very hard for you to hold this back. So I rather you go with this than against it, because if you go against it, it will be a battle to your death. And I don't mean literal death, but you will go on your knees until you cave and say yes to this change. But if you go with it, you will be working together with the divine, and they will support you. To go with the energies is going to be prosperous. Yes, you have a Queen of Cups here. So it's also about your emotions. I think you have been very compassionate with people that might not have done their fair share of work. So you have been kind of holding back your strength to be nice, because you have a big heart here, Queen of Cups. You can still be this person, but it's better to have this compassion with them and actually teaching them something about what's true. So Queen of Cups might also be like an offer of love, or someone waking up to love here. Page of Swords, it might be an air person that finds their heart in some way. It might also be like the Leo part of you that's becoming so brave and becoming more, it's more easy for you to tell people that you love them or what you feel. Also when it's bad things that you feel, being more open, being more trusting towards your actual feelings, and believing them to be, to hold a part of the truth. That's very important. So it's like you're tuning in your different antenna, your deep strength, your soul, your deep emotions, your knife sharp logic, and this ability to let go and drop the ball of things that doesn't work, they're just stealing your energy. Okay, my dear Capricorn, so I will take cards from the past. I took cards from the past from the Druid Oracle for Gemini, but I will take for the past by Oracle of Vision for you instead, because this seems to be more suitable. So what about the past for Capricorn? So this is what you have been dealing with, the different faces of you, which one is really truly you, and to actually drop the mask and stand there before everyone, like in your total truth and honesty, also about everything that you feel, and being able to communicate this, that will make you kind of drop the mask and become your true self. When you want to change the world, you need to start with the person in the mirror. You need to start with yourself. When you have gotten to know yourself and gotten to love yourself, you can also go on to know others and love the rest of the world and heal it. So start with you. Start with healing yourself. Start with giving you justice, with taking care of you and deciding that Your natural self is your divine self. You don't have to pretend to be someone that you're not. It's just taking you further away from the truth and from yourself and from your self-love. So don't behave, be natural. And this is for the future for you, Capricorn. And it's from the Druidcraft Tarot. And we have the Hangman and the High Priest. So this is about male spiritual growth. And it's also connected to the World card here. This is 21 and this is the Hangman is number 12. So it's about some kind of birth forward of something new, finding out who you are by being in a situation that's challenging and making it impossible for you to escape. You really need to look yourself in the mirror. So it's like the divine is making it impossible for you to use your old survival skills and run away. And with the Taurus here, the High Priestess, it might indicate that you need to start to deal with social situations in a more honest and direct way. With the 5 High Priestess, it's like the social growth of humans, the culture growth of humans. And we have a lot of 5s connected to this. 5 of Coins, feeling left out in the cold. 5 of Swords, wants to be on top, always need to win, to feel like you're worth being alive even, and not ever getting humiliated or someone else knowing more than you. 5 of Wands, it's you want to build things in a certain way, you want to control a situation and you can't cooperate with others. Also 5 of Cups, being very disappointed when you don't getting the love that you need and deserve. So this is how we deal with other people, how hard it is with our relationships, but it's going to make us grow in a spiritual way. And there's going to be a lot of experience for all those 5s that we can put in the library, the Akasha Chronicles of humans. So don't be afraid of being pushed to your limits. It's going to come good things out of this, a lot of good knowledge. You are going to be so wise, and also being pushed like this, it's squeezing you out in your purest essence. So you will come out as your pure you, and you won't try to tame yourself to fit in. You will show yourself in your whole uniqueness and still want to be with other people. So the Hangman might be a situation where you're it's like death here, 12, 13, that you need to sacrifice something, you need to let it go, and to just endure to be without it, and then see if it comes back to you or not. And the High Priestess might indicate that it actually does, because there's things still to be learned in different relationships or work situations or other things where we can have this kind of war or clash of titans going on that's so very fertile for our spiritual growth. So, okay, my dear Capricorn, I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care, and I hope to see you again in the middle of September. Okay, bye-bye.